Hello, and welcome to this episode of Natter with Niamh, episode 22, and the last in this first series. I am looking for more guests for September, so if you are listening to this and you want to come and tell your story, please do send me a message. And today, I wanted to talk to you about why. Quite an innocent sounding little word, isn't it? 3 letters, W-H-Y. And it's a word we learn very early on in life. I remember my mother saying I used to drive her insane because I was always asking why. Why this? Why that? Why? And as children, why is quite an important question, an important word. We're trying to understand the world around us. We're trying to work out our place in it, where we fit in, what works, what doesn't, and why some things work and why they don't. So why can be a very useful question. Even as adults, why is a useful question. It continues to help us to understand the world around us. And it helps us quite often, in our jobs, in our work, in our day-to-day life. That's why. We always want to know why, don't we? If you're standing on a platform waiting for the train and all of a sudden there's an announcement that the train is cancelled, we always want to know why. Why? Why is the train cancelled? And quite often it's not just why is the train cancelled. Our thinking will then go to why me? Why is this happening to me? Now I'm going to be late, or I'm going to miss my meeting. This is a very important meeting, or don't they know I have a job interview? Why me? And this is where why is completely unhelpful, because it drags our thinking down. It gets us caught up in scenarios, thinking, thoughts, feelings that actually aren't serving us. All they're doing is getting us caught in a loop. That loop of why me? Do I need to know why the train is cancelled? Probably not. What I do need to know is, where do I go from here? What happens now? What's next? What can I do? I know I have an appointment. I know I have an hour and a half in which to get there. How am I going to do that? When we get caught up in the why me thinking, it drags us away from the present moment. It drags us away from the solutions, and it creates more problems than it solves. In fact, it doesn't solve any problems. We just get caught up in the thoughts, we get caught up in the feelings, the anger, the frustration, the disappointment, and we allow them to run riot. What if we could pause that why? In that very moment, I don't need to know why the train is not running. I don't need to know why this is happening to me. I just need to accept that this has happened. That I need to find an alternative way. And we can apply this to all areas of our life. I'm just using the train as an example. And I know it's not easy, especially if you've been caught in that pattern of thinking for years and years and years. When we think that all the thoughts come from us, and that all the thoughts are related to us. And we give all the thoughts that come to us meaning. What if there is no meaning to those thoughts? What if it's just a thought that came out of nowhere? That why me is designed to drag you down into those feelings of frustration and anger and disappointment, into a familiar cycle. The cycle that some part of your brain thinks is keeping you safe, keeping you in your comfort zone. We don't know what it's trying to keep us safe from. We don't need to know why. All we need to know is that we can stop it. That we don't need to engage in the why me. That we can maybe flip the question on its head and say, why not me? Would that be helpful? Probably not. So can we just let that thought go? Can we think, I'm not going there right now? I don't need to know why, but I do need a plan. I need to know where to go from here. What's next? I'd love to hear your experiences of this. Do you get caught up in the why me thinking? Or are you one of those people who got a hold of this a long time ago and you don't worry about it? Drop me a message, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And again, if you'd love to be a guest, please do let me know. And I will see you for season 2 in September. Thank you and goodbye.